Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you. Podcast, your home for rational crypto news and objectivity, leaving emotion at the door. Talking about what we like, why we like it, where we see it going. We are not offering financial advice. We are telling you what we do, and that is all. We don't slow down. We don't let up. Full speed is our only speed. I'm your host, Scott, pragmatic investor. Who has won and lost fortunes, and joining me tonight is absolutely nobody. Bell has has another engagement, and we don't really do Saturdays anymore. But you know, we Bell and I go on 7 or 8 times a week. Now we're going live, and we always eat negative market sentiment because we go on regardless. We don't just show up on good days. We show up on every day, and the last couple months have been brutal. So we haven't gotten to actually get out here on kind of an up day, and I just wanted to have some fun with it. So appreciate you guys joining me. We have a tendency to talk about what others are not talking about and bringing the focus onto use case cryptos because, as we know, these are what drive the market and bring innovation to a world that desperately needs it. The status quo, it's no longer acceptable. Time for technological revolution. Welcome to crypto. Welcome to the podcast. And again, thank you. So, I've been doing some outreach. I've been doing some outreach over to the Kujira community of all things. Even though they're left curved, but they have one really strong thing going for them, and it's critical in crypto. I know we all tap dance around and it's just about the tech and it's just about everything. I'm a tech guy. I get it, but crypto moves on sentiment and it moves on community. And one thing that Kujira does have for it is a very aggressive community. Now, I'm not deep in it, man. I don't know the players. I don't know the people. I don't know any of this stuff. All I've ever had from them was confrontation. So I just kind of assume that it's a younger kind of investor, and that whole generation. I don't even know what generation you call it. The 20 to 30-year-olds now. They more or less exist on confrontation. And that's just how it is. If you don't think just like me, you suck. It's propaganda. It's yeah. So needless to say, I don't integrate very well with them. I mean, at all. So it's always been very difficult to have really anything to do with them over there. But they do have a couple of things that are going for them, particularly lately. And I was just, you know what, here's an olive branch. This is where I see the problem. You know, you do you. But one of the things that most of these cryptos out here, most things out here suffer for it, is just simply no marketing budget. They think a community manager is enough. And hey, well, we have a community manager, and that's really all you need. But it's not. A community manager is great at keeping your community. That's what their job is. But it doesn't really help to grow your community. To grow your community, you need marketing. Period. That's it. Somebody sent me an email on this, and they were just going up and down telling me how dead wrong I am about that. And, sir, I mean, I humbly disagree. Have you ever heard of Nike? Have you heard of Pepsi? Have you heard of iPhone? All of these products advertise. To this day, where they are name brands throughout the world, they still advertise. Now, why do you think that is? These are not people that are really struggling for brand recognition. They got it. But they will continue to invest into customer acquisition because customer acquisition is everything. Now, in the cosmos, we are hands down diluted with decentralized exchanges. We have tons of them. We're going to go through all of them here. I'm going to move money all around on this show. I'm going to give you context on each and every one of them, why I'm doing it, where I see it going, and what I will do with it once we arrive. I'm going to give you all that context because we're talking about my money. But I'm also want to do this to show you the user experience, because it matters. UI and UX matters. It is absolutely critical. We have done what we can do here in Web3, meaning as far as expanding our base, getting our people. Crypto is incredibly tribal. And the odds of you landing somebody from another chain to suddenly come over and say, my God, I saw the light. You guys are right. It's borderline hopeless right now, because the worst a token does, or the best a token does, it just digs people into it. Though they're never ever going to sell because tokens going up, and they're never ever going to sell because tokens going down. I mean, this is like double speak here. It doesn't matter what it does. I'm never leaving. All right. Look, that's tribalism. Pure tribalism. There's no objectivity there. But because of that, it's going to be really, really hard to get that person over looking your way now, because they're just not. There's a subset of crypto investors just like me that it's nothing personal. All right, doesn't matter where, who, what, when, where, why, and how. It's nothing personal. If we see an undervalued asset or we see a way to make some money on an asset, we're going to, and we don't really care what it is. I don't really care what it is. If it's going up and I can make some money on it, I'm there. Now, all of this is done as part of my own personal investment strategy to take that money and put it into my long-term holdings. I have three major long-term holdings. I have Jackal, which is a major long-term holding. I have a Cash, which is a major long-term holding, and I have AXV, which is a major long-term holding. And it's funny that it's a DEX too, because I said I was done with it. But deep diving, looking into it, getting into it, talking to everybody about it, I was like, you know what? I think this one is worth a stretch. So we're going to take a stretch. You can't get home runs unless you swing away sometimes, and it's performing well enough that I'm comfortable there. But I'm also critical of the DEX. This is major holding for me. All right, this is a big holding for me. So I should do nothing but provide confirmation bias, but it's not about that. It's not, I don't believe that they are going to handle and start really, really raking in Web3 traffic, particularly in the Cosmos. Everybody who's here is dug in. They are dug in like ticks and they're not leaving. The problem with that is validators. That is the problem with it. You have got to constantly pay your validator set for any proof of work chain out here. You are going to or proof of stake. You're going to have to constantly pay out that validator chain. Period. All right. This is overhead. And even though I see the arguments on this, well, it's we don't really count it as overhead. I assure you, it's overhead. I assure you that that is money that is leaving your chain. Period. And when it leaves, odds are good that it's not coming back unless these people can see an upside. But because of that, you have got to offset those expenses with more customers, period. That's it. Look, this is business. Believe it or not, deep down, these are businesses. And unless you are simply a meme smart contract, meaning if you're an L1, you have got continuing expenses. So the only way that you're going to replace that money is to get more money on there. The only way you're going to get more money on there is to get more customers, period. And it doesn't really matter what they are. If it's a science fair, you need devs coming over building on you. If it's a DEX, you need people coming over here and trading on your DEX. If you're just a DPIN project, then Cash Jackal, you need people using that DPIN project. These are all L1s, and all of this has to be paid for. You do it with more customers, period. So I think we can agree that additional customers are important. Therefore, why don't these places have a marketing budget? Or if they do, how are they marketing? And again, this is another one that I consider a very, very fair question. I'm going to show you something over here. We'll third frame this for a second. There is no order to this show tonight, guys, just so you know. I took a look at Kujira. I just put in a very, very generic search term up here called Kujira Crypto because they've abandoned YouTube. I mean, completely have lost any sight, any focus, anything on YouTube. And I can see it right here. 5 months ago, 10 months ago, 4 months ago. These are the top four. These are the ones that are above the fold. All right. All of those right here are above the fold. 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 2 months. Every single one of these. They do not have a fresh, hot video inside of 60 days. Now, the reason is because their token's been descending for 60 days, but that doesn't matter. It really shouldn't matter as far as you spitting out content and having your community support the content. Let me let you in on a secret here. You're Web3 curious. I'm using that term, by the way. So I'm even giving myself a round of applause on it. I think that's funny as hell. Your Web3 curious people are not running to crypto Twitter, because it is just awash with infighting and drama and just pure hype bullshit. They are running to YouTube because that's what they know. They're going there. These are Coinbase people that may or may not be curious about something, and they're running to YouTube. When they come over to Kujira, and we're talking about how big is Kujira anymore? Hang on, let me take a look here, guys. I think I got it up. So we're talking about just shy of a $300 million market cap token that has obviously no marketing budget whatsoever, or it would show up over here at least a little bit. So you've completely abandoned YouTube. Now YouTube that's the gateway. That's the Web3 curious gateway is right over here on YouTube, and they've completely abandoned it. Now, I disagree with that. I think if you're going to be going after these people, and these are the people that you should be going after, you need to get it here. You need to start it here. Yes, it is an operating cost. Yes, not everybody can do it. It is a cost. There is going to be a cost associated with this, but you have to get customers. I mean, that's it. If not, we simply bleed out. Every new deck set launches out here dilutes every other deck sets out here, period. They do. It is simple, simple math. There's only so much capital, and it's spread all over the place. So if you are going to continue and you want to grow and you want to adapt, you want to do all that other stuff, you either get everybody else out here, you either go aggressively after tribalist crypto people, which simply does not work, or you market aggressively to the Web3 curious. So that's kind of what we were. I really wanted to get that out there because again, it just seems like we forget this completely. We completely ignore the fact that you have got to market. You've got to get it out there. So, with that, and I'm not singling out Kujira. I could take a look at any of these. I could take a look at Shade, Osmo, anything, and I'm going to see months old videos and just nothing else because for some reason, Cosmos as a whole has completely abandoned YouTube, and YouTube is where you're going to get your customers out here. So, okay. Anyway, let's get back to this and take a look. So Kujira had a hell of a nice day, and it really did. Now I want to hope this is going to be an interesting one here and a jaded one here a little bit. Kujira is in kind of a unique situation out here in that they are not heavily bonded LP'd against Osmo. They got about 200,000 total over on Osmosis over here in the pool somewhere. They got about 200 grand. So they are not as susceptible to the movement of Osmo as everybody else. Now, Osmo went today from 92 to 97 with a jump of 5.27%. That is big. All right. That is big for this particular token. It went up all at once. It was single or just a couple of large buyers that moved the hell out of that needle, and it carried a lot of stuff with it. But it didn't carry KUJI exactly because Kujira is not too heavily paired up against Osmo, or and Adam's already bottomed out. So this is kind of organic. Now, I want to hope that it's because they are starting to realize that their UI and their UX is a problem. I made a couple videos. I got more views on those videos than I've ever gotten. And for me, 8,000 is a lot. All right. We are not that kind of channel. But it seemed like it went well, and it seemed like people took it to heart. I didn't get attacked as much as I normally do when I talk about Kujira. It seems like they're actually weighing it. Now, there's something else that happens out there in the crypto world, particularly on these bleeding off tokens, and Kujira bled. Oh my God, it bled. Not exactly a hell of a lot more than everything else, but considering its isolation, to me, it felt like it bled more because it was not getting ravaged by osmosis. It did take some atom hits, but it didn't get really ravaged by Osmo. So it felt like it bled off a little bit. But my hope is that it was right about there that Sumo really started putting it out. And that guy gets 50, 60, 70,000 views on any tweet. But he really started pointing that out and saying, hey, you know what? Maybe we should take a look at this. Maybe we should rebirth this. Let's move it up. Let's entertain it. And suddenly market sentiment returns. Action is considered being taken. Confidence restores. And you get a beautiful 30-day or 24-hour chart like that. I mean, dude, that is gorgeous. That's what you want more than anything else. But the jaded part of me, here comes the jaded part, their volume did not change that much. It went up. They usually average between 1 and million and 1.5 million, and that's up and down. So they're kind of in right in the range of their normal daily volume, but clearly, the token's up 17% over the last 24 hours. Now, the jaded part of me is the dustbuster. That's I want to put out anything I'm thinking right now tonight. The jaded part is the dust buster. So I have never staked Kujira. I did it for some videos and some tokens that I forgot about them, but I never really staked Kujira because I hate their payout model. They're giving me dust. They're giving me I mean, just this big basket of crap that I don't want. And that there is nothing I can do when I get it because it's in such trace amounts. It costs me more to trade it, move it, do anything than the token is actually worth. So the whole time I'm staking, I'm earning effectively zero because there's nothing that I can do with those tokens. Meanwhile, you're still paying a validator set. So for me, it wasn't the way that I wanted to do it. But the jaded part of me wonders if this was kind of a long-term plan for them. Give you crap, sticky with it, make sure there's nothing you can do with it because you really can. It'll cost you money just to claim and liquidate your rewards. And they had the Dustbuster ready. So right now, all of these rewards, these trace micro tokens, all this crap is getting liquidated on your behalf, and it's becoming Kujira. So that's going to create buy pressure. I mean, it just is. Now, if they stick with the staking model, and I'm of the opinion that they need to completely rethink that, because if that's the plan, give you nothing, liquidate it on your behalf, and then give you out Kujira. What they're doing is farming every other chain out here that has anything to do with Kujira. Anything else, all the other tokens, anything that be provided up here, Kujira is taking them, giving them out as staking rewards, and then liquidating them and buying Kujira with them. Now, I'll give you that, man. If that was right, I don't think it is, man. I'm just speculating here. But if that was right, that is some 4D chess right there, man. You are basically funding your own APRs at the expense of everybody that does business with you. That's like Darth Vader level evil right there, man. If that's what was happening, that'd be incredible. But I'm going to hope that it's because we got some positive market sentiment. Everything's kind of up across the board. Anything in the cosmos certainly is. But that, again, man, it's not because they're beautiful, special, or unique. It's because OSMO went up. You know, there it is. So let's explore some of these things. Now, I've been kind of critical on them. You know what? This is a off stream, so cheers, guys. Give me a second. And as this is 420 day, and I'm retired and I can smoke pot now. It seems like an odd day to celebrate, though, isn't it? 420. If that's your thing of choice, good for you. Go for it. But you know what? Do coke. All right, do coke. Be a grown up. Get off the weed and start doing coke. All right, be a grown up. I don't do any of that, but I thought it was a funny joke. I saw that somewhere. Okay, anyway, let's carry on. I have been kind of hacking around on these guys because I don't like the layout. I don't care for an awful lot that's going over here. I hate this. I absolutely despise this, and I think you could maybe back me up on this one a little bit. You have way too many pools in here like this with $47 worth of liquidity in it. That is just not worth the time. It's not even worth the effort to get this taken care of. Give me the little button right here. Just give me a little button that says hide small balances. Anything under 4 figures, just wipe it out so I'm not looking at it. It's confusing. They're untradeable. Nobody's moving into this. It's a waste of time, energy, manpower. Get that off and then clean up this front set, man. All right, because you can't have a featured pool with $300 in it. All right, it is simply bad. I keep saying all right a lot. I'm saying that to myself. No, I'm not asking for your bias. I know, or confirmation. I know I'm right. It's bad optics. Get that stuff off from there and put in pools that actually make sense. KUJI USDC, that makes sense. I'm going to explain why. In fact, we're going to move into it. You know what? Let's do it right now. Let's do it before I have... You know what? Let's do it right after the break, guys. I have to smoke. I'm a smoker. So please let me hit my cigarette. Let me fill up my glass a little bit here. 60 seconds, guys. We'll be right back. I'll take a look at the comments, but we are bellless here. Bellless. We're bellless here. So I'll take a look and see what I can do. 60 seconds, guys. Be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. All right, I glanced at a couple of the comments. Let me take one first from Pisk99. Scott, are you sponsored by KUJI, guys? No, there's no way in hell that I think I've been too critical of them over the years, so there's no way in hell that they would ever sponsor me in any way. And the fact that I am continuing to be critical, these are not the type of people that you want to sponsor. Typically, if you're going to want to sponsor somebody out here in the cosmos, guys, this is just blanket reality here. It's going to be CryptoCito, because a lot of events to get to, man. Someone's got to pay for this. And the Cito team. So I saw the dumbest thing. I don't remember what chain it was on. Damn it, I wish I saw the tweet. Somebody I bet can find it. But they put a prop up. The Cito team, they put a prop up on maybe it was Nomic. I don't know. It was somebody that they didn't validate with, but they put a prop up and they said they asked for a loan of like I don't remember what it was, 2.5 million tokens or something like that, so that they can put a validator up on their chain, and in return they will make educational content and all this other stuff. That was the dumbest thing I think I ever saw, and it wouldn't surprise me a bit if it passes, because then you got Cito on your side, and he's just gonna kill it and bend over backwards for you. I'm sorry, man. That was bad. The worst thing to that the absolute worst thing, I think, end result of that is that there's a validator sitting over there right now in the number 100 spot. That is a very, very small mom and pop individual that likes the chain, wants to support the chain, so he's got a validator up on that chain. As soon as they pass something like that, you are going to knock that guy out who did nothing wrong. He may not have been as successful as everybody else in the whole validator world, but he did nothing wrong. And you are going to knock him out of the validator set so you can get a video every other month by CryptoCito. You have got to be shitting me, man. There's a reason that we are branching out away from the cosmos, or just digging into the guys that we know. Corium, these guys have been fantastic. I made a single video. They're reaching out. They're saying, hey, let's come on the show. I wouldn't come on this show because I'm going to blast you. You guys know what we do here. You get a free pass. You get a softball the first time, and then when you come back, I give you both barrels, man. But I'm going to stick with those people that are just trying to do it without, wrapping themselves around the whole Cosmos cartel bullshit. So I'll stick with those. But no, I'm not sponsored by Kujira. Everything we do here is gratis. And Bell and I go on 7 or 8 times a week. Nobody pays us. We don't get tips. We don't get anything. We just do it because we like it. We're providing a public service and giving you our opinion. We are opinion editorial. We just also happen to have been really successful in crypto. It allows us to do what we were doing. Monero Dinero, that was the first one. And yeah, new type, I see it. Pulsera. I don't really need any more DEXs in my life, but I'm certainly going to take a look at it. From Monero Dinero, I don't think Bitcoin is the future of money. I've never thought it was the future of money, guys. I'm well on record on this from my very first video, man. Look, Bitcoin is a meme. All right, it doesn't do anything. It simply doesn't do anything. It is a solution looking for a problem. That's it. But it's similar to just about any other meme coin. It exists because it exists, and more people buy it. It makes it worth more. And yeah. Is it the future of money? No. It's not back. It's backed by nothing. It's backed by absolutely nothing. Unless you want to consider it a real world asset, because you need these massive Bitcoin farms to maintain it. So in that case, sure, it's a real world asset, but it's certainly not really doing anybody any favors on that, aside from dominating the market. So, all right. Anyway, let's get back. Yeah, I think they need some work, but they have a couple of good pools over here. Now, the KUJI Atom, that's really the only one I would have ever even considered. But Atom is, I'm sorry, man. Look, Atom is not going to do what you think it's going to do. They have had years and years and years to find a use for this, and they still haven't. And don't tell me interchain security. All right, that is, if nothing, it's a byproduct. But you are not going to compensate the cost of your validator set with interchain security. You're not earning enough, so that money's got to come from somewhere. And looking at this chart, Let's all take a look, because I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to believe your own eyes. Looking at this chart, and the only chart that we really care about anymore is the 1-year chart. From here, a year ago, it was at 1078. Today, after a mega pump, it's at $8. So the only thing you got out of this, holding this token blindly, not staking, but blindly, is you're down about 20%. That's all you did in a year, during a Bitcoin frenzy, during a somewhat positive market. All you are is down, because all that token does is go down, because there is no use for the token, and competition is continuing to come into the space constantly, and people are getting away from it. They don't need it as much. Anyway, let me get back over to here. So 60 days ago, I would have said that that's the most valuable pool on here. You need this pool. Today, I'm saying it's this one. I'm saying it's KUJI USDC is probably the most valuable pool over here. And let me show you why. So I went over to Shade today because we're talking Cosmos dexes, and I want to talk about Shade. Oh, you want to talk about somebody who just, whatever you were doing, man, people saw through it, or it ain't working anymore. So this is 24 hours of Shade, and it's up 4%, and yummy. But looking at it over the last over the last month, man, that's not good. In the last 3 months, it's certainly not. So this is bad. I mean, that's just bad all the way around. Now, it looks similar to most other Cosmos tokens. All right, I'm not singling out Shade. It looks similar to most other Cosmos tokens, but on this one, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because, again, they are not really marketing. They are daring you. They're saying, if you don't like privacy, you just don't get it, and they're doing all of that. But the average person out here simply doesn't care. They don't. They use Google. They use Google Cloud Storage. They don't care about privacy or security. They're indifferent to it. Enterprise might care, but Enterprise is not coming over here to Shade. It's a troglodyte DEX. It continues to be one, and they do not do a lot of marketing. I know they pay a couple of influencers. I know they pay a couple people, but these people are, whenever token declines, everybody hides. All right, they don't get out in front of it. They don't dare it boldly, holding their sword and shield and saying, "Bring it, I got the answer." They don't do that, and Shade certainly has not. But I did find something over here, because I was scrolling through their pools, and boy, they are going Kujira-ish, man. Just a lot of pools that don't make a whole hell of a lot of sense. Silk and USDC at 5.5% with $2.2 million in it. All right, that's a massive pool. The problem is that Silk is getting the legs cut out from under it. Their teaser rates have expired, and they are going to now start charging interest ex post facto on anybody who borrowed against Silk, because they borrowed against Silk, turned it into USDC, took it off the DEX, and moved over to greener pastures for that USDC. So yeah, they kind of ran into problems on that, and I don't see it really getting any better. But they a lot of their pools up here, they really don't make a lot of sense. They're up there because they're up there, but I don't see anybody really going out of their way and actively trading in these. Silk and Stay Secret, $463,000 in it at 29%. But who's going out of their way to use that pool? That's the problem. So you're incentivizing, but you're incentivizing the wrong thing. And this Shade, that's your DEX token, paired against the exact same token, $856,000, and you got a 0% APR. That means it exists for you. It exists for the DEX, because nobody's going to come up here, take the risk at 0%. You're not doing anybody any favors on this one. So a lot of them up and down here just don't make a lot of sense. They're big pools, but they have no particular APR that's going to inspire people to come over there, and the pools themselves don't make a lot of sense. You can get Manta anywhere. So I just don't see the necessity of a Shade Manta pool, particularly when it's 0%, because nobody's trading it. Now, this is another one that does not make a hell of a lot of sense. Shade and Orai. Now, I'm a fan of Orai briefly, and I'll get into the why of it here after this. I'm a big fan of this, but apparently Orai gave you a whole hell of a lot of liquidity, or moved a hell of a lot of liquidity over here, and you loved it so much, and you wanted to get the word out so well, that you gave it 0% APR. Nothing. So that's a pool for Shade DEX and Orai DEX. so that they can, maybe if somebody's interested in the tokens, making a swap, but there's zero incentives for there. So these are not for you. These are for the dexes. And it's a little odd too when you come over here and take a look at Orai and you take a look at the pools. I think the interesting one over here, let me see, I could be mistaken, but Orai is now visible over on Shade Dex. But you notice how you don't see a Shade Orai pool over here. Typically, these guys are trading pole so that they can get exposure on both sides. But Orai didn't even want to list Shade or anything. They had nothing to do with Shade. They don't care. But anyway, I'll get back to that. So I was looking through all this stuff, and I found, apparently I was in a pool over here. I looked through these. $3.43. Sure, let's claim this. I don't even know what's in there. I thought I cleared all of this stuff out, but apparently, back when I used to use Shade, but apparently I left some in there. So let's collect a couple bucks and get all this stuff moved. $0, so that's dust. 22 cents, not gonna bother. $0 again, dust. So I wasn't in them very long. 37 cents, not worth the gas. And oh, I came down to this one. So Shade and Agoric. Now, there's a massively big pool here at 1.49K, and my little green light over here was lit, so I took a look at it, and I was like, I'll be damned. Apparently, I'm half that, or I'm about 30% of that, because I still had some money in it. So let's pull this out. I have no interest in either of these tokens. Let's pull them out, liquidate them, turn them to Atom, move them over into Kujira, and move it into the Kujira USDC pool, and I will tell you why, if I can figure this out, man. I haven't used this in a long time. Let's see. I could pull out $3. No, I want to unstake. Pull everything out. There we go. So let's unstake it. Split LP shares and exit pool. That's a nice button. That is a nice button. Kujira, did you see that button? That's a really good button because then it gives you a little bit of clarity. So, okay. So I think we got rid of it. Now let's swap out of it. That's the kicker. I don't want any of this stuff. So let's see if it shows up over here. I want to get rid of all of this. I don't know what ADM is. I have no idea. We're going to swap everything for Atom so I can get it moved. Let's see. Max, $1.80. Sure. Let's burn all this stuff off. 16 cents. 16 cents worth of gas to do this. Give me a minute. Boy, this is fast. All right. Where is the rest of it? Finna. I don't even know what that. I don't know what that is. It's worth $3. Sure, let's dump that off. I don't care about that either. 16 cents. So we're gonna. Shade is making money tonight. See, guys, I'm providing work. All right, I'm completely altruistic on this. I'm providing work for everybody. It'll take a minute, guys. I got to liquidate all this. So smoke them if you got them. Belle would never let me do this tonight. She said, no, no, no. Anybody's watching. Talk about anything. Keep it interesting. I think this is fascinating, by the way. Let me refresh. Where the hell is this money, or did I not take it out? It should be on here somewhere. Shade. All right, there's the shade. So let's get rid of 36 of it for 166, $2. Cost me $2 to turn it into Atom. It's 166 bucks, man. Oh God, these guys are vicious. And I think there's BLD. There should be the other half of that pool should be BLD. So let's get rid of the let's get the other half of the pool on there. I never claimed the rewards, but it had a 0 APR. I have no idea what I was doing in there, man. So let me see. Does the BLD even show up? Because I would like it. I mean, it's 160 bucks. It is Agoric, right? I mean, you guys saw me do this. BLD. Oh, okay. I didn't have that turned on. Again, secrecy or privacy, man. It comes with expense. So give me just a minute here. Okay, there we go. Let's dump all of that. 163. Look at that slippage. It's going to cost me $33 to get out of it at price impact of 29%. Again, this is a very good lesson for anybody else who's coming over here. There's a reason that you don't play in small pools, and it's because of that. It was found money. I don't care. I could withdraw this. I could move it over to maybe Astrovault and liquidate it there and save myself 25 bucks, but I don't care enough about it to do it. So we're just going to go ahead and dump it all. All right. So now we got to get it over here to Kujira. Now, They have a lot of bridges. By the way, this is a very important page, your IBC bridge page, for anybody who's going to be moving in money in here. Oh, shit, I could have did it there. I could have exported it, brought it onto here, and then liquidated it here on Kujira. I forgot that they bridged it over here. So these are all of the different chains that you can bridge to. They're all IBC chains, so it makes it all nice and easy. But we have to get this stuff off from here. So now we have to come over here and bridge because we can bridge secret, but we can't bridge from shade. So we're kind of stuck on this one. So I want to go from secret to Cosmos, and we are going to move all of the atoms. So let's put 34.5 in there. I don't really care how much that is. It's not as much as it used to be. Welcome to crypto. We're getting there, guys. Stand by. So we got to export all of this out to the Kepler wallet so that Kujira will see it. See, right now, if I'm over here on blue and I go to Cosmos before that transaction hits, and I want to go from Cosmos to Kujira, you can see I only have 1.7 atom over here because it's still exporting over here off from Shade. And this thing is in no particular hurry. It is a bridge, but it's kind of a bridge. It's a bridge, but it's so slow that we don't call it a bridge. We call it a toll bridge. There you go. Toll bridge. I don't have any. I don't have my funny sound effect on there. Sorry. So yeah, we're waiting. So hope everybody's having a good crypto day, man. A lot of neat stuff has been going on. There we go. Look, we got a transfer success. So blue is not going to read it right now at all until I refresh. The transfer was successful, and you can see that now we have 36 atom over here. So let us bust all these out. We're going to send 35 and hope it works this time. We tried to do it on the video this morning, and it simply failed. So let's see if it works this time. All of this is going to be dependent on their RPCs, and their RPCs, Kujira's RPCs suck, man, because sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. There we go. Bad status on response. So that is me trying to bridge in here, and the paying the gas. I do get to pay the gas for that, and it simply does not work because there we go. Or maybe it worked and maybe it didn't, and I got clearly unusual messages. I don't want to say that I'm brand new to crypto, but I'm trying to do this and illustrate the way a consumer will see it. And right now, the consumer is going to have a problem because we don't know what worked or what didn't. All right, there you go. It did go through. So even though I got a bad RPC status and nothing on the page updated, it did go through. All you need is a refresh. So welcome to it. All right. So we're going to swap and we're going to put this stuff right over here in the Kujira USDC pool. So I got to make two trades. I'm going to have to eat this twice. So I'm going to swap the atom. I'm going to come over here to swap. I'm going to swap the atom if I can find, or if it shows up. You never know over here anymore, man. Okay, there's the atom, and we need to swap about half of that for Kujira. So what is that, 1650? Let's just do 17. I want to leave some dust. So let us I could do the advance. I'm not going to. I'm going to do this as a consumer would. So gas is cheap. 17 will get a 65 Kujira. I don't know how much slippage I ate. I don't care. That's actually something that you should keep off the page. So if it's a secret to everybody, you should probably you probably want to do that. Keep that stuff off. So okay, I didn't really get a confirmation or see where this changed at all. So the only thing that did change right there is that. So I know that that's gone. So we're going to swap an additional 17 atom for USDC because I need that for the other side of the pool. We're going to instant swap it. God, this site sometimes, man. I don't want that. I need atom. And I want to go atom to USDC. Can you do that? Because it does say that you can do that. So let's try to make that swap. Failed to execute message. Unauthorized execute. WASM contract failed? You got to be shitting me here. But I have $193 showing up over here. I still show max 20. My God, you guys have got to fix this, man. You have got to do something about this because this is a little rough. And I'm not exactly a brand new user. No results found. So you can't find the Cosmos chain. I think the transaction went through. This sucks. This is a god awful experience. please tell me there is a single Kujira real strong person out in the audience right now that is seeing what I'm going through, and I'm not exactly brand new to crypto. And don't come back and say, well, you should just use a Sonar wallet. I don't want to use a Sonar wallet. I want to use what you fucking built, but you didn't build it very well. Just saying. So let's try it and see if anything actually happened here. So now we're going to come over here. We want to provide liquidity in Kujira USDC, particularly because it didn't cost me anything. So let's go 16 and the USDC, which it's not reading. So I think I don't know what happened to my Atom. I can't get back to the Cosmos chain. Oh, this is great. Someone please comment. Tell me what I'm doing wrong here. Is the whole site down now? What the hell happened to my Atom? And how can I get back to Cosmos? Ah. I'm trying here, guys. I would really like to utilize your DEX. Yeah, I can't find Cosmos on either one of these things. This is the swap page, right? This is, I mean, how you swap, because I was kind of able to swap some Atom for Kujira, which I'm now stuck with because I can't put the other side in there. So, yeah, this is great. Anyway, look, that's Kujira, man. Good luck with this. I'm sure everything is wonderful. I think it's going to work a treat. I would love to actually put some money in here, but apparently it doesn't work. Or I have to keep refreshing or something. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's clearly not working. If you can't find Cosmos or I can't find Atom. Oh, I'm sorry. I was bridging. I see what you did. Never mind. Chill out. That was a me thing. Boy, I wasted a whole big rant there, didn't I? All right. Try it again. Instant swap, and I still can't do it. RPC error code failed to execute message. All right. So let's try to do this another way. What can I swap for that'll actually work? Okay, let's do it this way. Let's do that to Kujira, and we'll do 17 more. And I'll try to instant swap that and hope I don't get an error. I'm just looking for that number to go down to 3. There we go. All right, so let's take the Kujira and let's try to change that to, let's see if we could trade that to, let's go 72. See if that'll actually go through. Swapping that for USDC. All right, I think we might make it, guys. All right, I think we got it. All right, so let's refresh here. I don't know what I got left because I just made these, but all right, Kujira 160. So let's put 155 right there. We'll get 69 out. I accept the terms and conditions. Let's deposit the liquidity. 47 cents, by the way. 47 cents. That's a great guess. I wasted a whole big rant because I'm all frustrated because this DEX pisses me off most of the time. All right, so we have created our LP. You can see it right there. We don't want to withdraw it. I think that now I have to stake it. So let's come over here. Let's hit the stake button. We'll pay another 2 cents. And in this case, I think that I'm staking it. Now, aside from the why is it saying unstake? Did it not work? Okay, there we go. Just took a minute. But we got it, man. See, look at that piece of cake. It's a great DEX. Everybody, round of applause. All right, so we pushed it. What pool did I go into? Okay, I just went into that one. So there we go. We can see our up. We can see our balance. We'll harvest rewards. Yeah. That's not really the reason why I care about this one. A couple of things. One, I would rather LP than stake ever, because I want to keep the money out there and keep the money going to work. Staking is a way for you to pay the validators and for you to maybe get a little percentage of it. Staking, and for some reason we're never allowed to say this, staking is a way to prey on people who are simply holding liquidity, who are simply holding these tokens liquid, because you're paying out an APR, you're paying a big validator set, you're paying everybody, and you're not getting anything back for it. So I personally will only stake my long tokens. I won't stake anything else that I'm not exceptionally long in, because I just disagree with that premise. But I can take this money and I can put it out to work and I can get a little piece of it. Now, here's what's going to happen here with this particular pool, and I think this is important. you're going to, as Kujira hopefully continues to go up in value, it would be wonderful, wonderful. It's not going to blow out. It's not going to do that. I know everybody's real jazzed up and excited right now, like you are in an 18%. And I've already seen the posts. I've already seen all these things. Well, who's never ever going to sell? Who's held all the way through it? I'll go on record right now. All right, I sold 17%. 17% of the Kujira that I had that increased in value by 17%. I sold off 17% of it. I turned it into USDC, and on my other wallets, I put it into this pool right there because it still allows me to put it to work, but it also allows me to realize and insulate a little bit of profit without me actually beating the ever-loving hell out of the token because I'm going to get it back over here on the other side. Now, as Kujira continues to go up in value, it will be dripped out, liquidated, and become USDC. That's just the machinations of the of DEXs. The problem with that is if it goes the other way. If the token goes down, then your USDC holdings start to go down with it, and they become Kujira. But believe it or not, it also kind of helps the token because it's creating the illusion of buy pressure, and it will slow the drop. That's why this is such a critically important pool on any DEX that it exists on, is the DEX token paired with the USDC or paired with Atom. Those are the two most important pools on there. Those are the things that are going to secure it. Now, we did a fun one over here on Astrovault. Look, clearly, guys, I'm a big Astrovault fan, all right? Across these things, I got over 7 figures in this thing across multiple wallets. Clearly, I'm a fan. But let me show you exactly what I meant, because this token right here, this is the AXV DEX token. It took one hell of, oh, it's up to 11.5. You see that, Bell? 11.5. It took one hell of a shellacking when they airdropped out to the Archway community, who brutalized them. Absolutely brutalized them. I mean, that stuff got sold as quick as it could be claimed. And they took that token down from about 15 or 14, 13 and a half, 14 cents, right down to about 8.5. Now, it happened to happen on a day that we were doing a live stream, because we do one every day. So I took all of my Atom, most of my Atom. I took the bulk of my Atom. I liquidated it. I turned it into AXV, and I put it in the farms over here. Most of it went right over here into the farms because there's no IL over here. The token's going to recover. I've made a bunch more money on this, so good for me. But the pool that I find most interesting, and it's kind of funny that you see that pool here, and you see that these two pools, DEX token paired with USDC, paired with Atom. Now, I showed this pool right here, what I have in it, which is a decent amount. But I showed this pool on Wednesday. Now, on Wednesday, the USDC in this pool was 16,600-ish. Right around there, 16,600-ish was the USDC in that pool. The reason that I favor these pools, the reason you just saw me move over into Kujira USDC, is because as the tokens go up, they slowly liquidate and become USDC. Now, when you start getting more volume in there, you start to see that number goes up. That number really starts to go up decently when you get a whole bunch in there. So from 16.6 to 18,000, little over. So I made $1,400 cash. This is cash. I can withdraw it right now and cash, and not hurt my DEX token, not hurt the token that I'm paired with at all. It won't even notice. So not only does that token slowly get liquidated and become USDC, which should be really, really up there on your list, because cash is king. Cash is rainy day fund, and it rains a lot out here in crypto. But because of that, I've managed to turn a profit. This is cash, about $1,400 since Wednesday. I did nothing. All right, nothing with it. I didn't do anything, didn't put any more in, didn't need to. As that token continues to go up, it is slowly going to get dripped off, and it's going to become cash. I can take that cash and do any damn thing that I want with it, including investing on Orai or investing on Kujira or spreading it around. I think DEX arbitrage is critically important to your long-term success out here as an entertainer. Is you have got to hit the good ones in the good places when they're good and get it realize profit and move it to the other ones or the ones that you may or may not be longer on. You need to do that. I do this. I'm sorry. I'm not telling you what you need to do. You do you, bro. But I absolutely do this. So let me. Oh, I still got some people looking. All right, guys. If you could please, 60 seconds. I've been talking nonstop for almost an hour here. Let me wet my whistle. We're gonna come back. We got a lot more to get to. So if you could please stick around, get your comments in, and we will be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't care about the 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. And the button, clearly we're filling it up. I made a deal with myself. I made a deal with myself a long, long time ago that I'm only going, for some reason this made sense to me. I'm only going to really, imbibe what I'm doing when I'm live streaming, because it's like my thing. I drink when I'm live, and I really wanted to drink tonight. So there we go, man. Welcome to the podcast. Oh, did you guys see this? Check this out. This took about 10 minutes to make. I'm a big fan of motion graphics. Motion graphics will endear and retain your community. And you don't use motion graphics to your own detriment, because it just creates this whole static Web3 thing. I never understood that. All right. I don't understand. I know Web3 and Web2 are different, but there is nothing wrong with borrowing on the success of something else that worked. I'm going to show you a perfect example right here. This is my Android phone. All right, this is my iPhone. So these are directly competing companies, but for some reason, they've made the exact same product. There is nothing wrong with emulating success. And Web2, if nothing else, has made very active and engaging and fun websites. So even though we're serious, because this is crypto and it's serious over here, we say that as we buy bonk. Even though it's serious out here, there's nothing wrong with appealing and directing yourself more towards Web 2.5 as opposed to just all the way down, diehard Web 3, and that's it. You don't like it, suck it. You say that enough, and they will, but they'll suck it somewhere else. Just not with you. So please keep that in mind. But yeah, I made this. I'm starting to learn After Effects, because I've been trying to get graphics for this show for a long time. And I'm offering like thousands of dollars to anybody. Please build me something. And I just couldn't get any takers. I don't know if I'm that hated in the community or if people just simply do not want to work anymore. So I paid the monthly fee for After Effects. I watched some videos on how to use it, and then I built things. I built this for not just for giggles. Stand by, guys, because we're talking Kujira, and we will be right back. $20. It took me 20 minutes to make that. It's a Saber plugin on After Effects. It's really, really awesome. But why aren't you doing this? I gotta ask, man. Why aren't your community guys doing this? Why aren't you trying to generate some, just some interest, some excitement, just something? Why are you not doing this? This is not that hard. So anyway, I'm sorry. I'm getting back. Let me get back on this. So where I've been moving an awful lot of money right now, and yeah, Astrovault's just been killing it for me. And yes, Astrovault, this is the one, guys. All right, I got an absolute slam dunk home run on 4 tokens out here. One of them was Kujira, believe it or not, because I loved it at 38 cents. Couldn't get enough of it at 38 cents. $4.80, didn't love it as much. So you know what? You take profits when you can take profits. But I killed it on Kujira. I killed it on Jackal, when I was alone on that 2 cent island. There were maybe a couple of you out there with me, but I had the capital to really realize it. So yeah, Jackal is a absolute slam dunk home run, even at its current price, even at 30 cents. It is 100% a home run for me, and I don't sell any of it. I am one of those douchebags I just talked about, one of the Twitter douchebags over there. I'm that guy. It's like, no, I ain't selling yet. And I'm not, because this is a different thing that we're talking about. But I killed it on Kujira. I killed it on Injective. I killed it on Jackal, which is still my top dog. I killed it on a cash. I loved a cash at 18 cents. I made videos about a cash at 18 cents. I made it all the way up, and just, it didn't resonate with people because I don't look like a crypto influencer, so it never really worked. And FET was hands down my home run. Long time ago, I was really hot and heavy on Fetch. I was hot and heavy on Fetch at about 6 cents. And it was a long time ago, man. Usually I won't stretch that long unless I really see some potential there. And I really saw some potential in the AI. There's kind of a problem that you run into in invest in anything that's opinion editorial. If you're really early, you're just completely insane. If you're a little bit early, you're insightful. And if you're a Twitter person, you're an you're Captain Hindsight, all right? You're an ex post facto king. As soon as something goes up, they're all going to be coming in. I told you. When did you tell us? You made a really vague post about 9 months ago, and now you're going to reference that and say, I knew it the whole time? Great, man. Let's see the wallets. Let's see the buy. Let's see the transactions. No, you're like a jukebox hero there, man. You're fantastic. Captain Hindsight. You're right. You're the guy to follow. So let me show you what I got going on over here on Orai. Now, Orai seems to be listening to their consumer base, and I find this really interesting. So this is the old page of Orai. It's still the one everybody knows, everybody uses, but if you see that button right there, let me close that up so you can see it. They're doing some very smart things with this little DEX over here. So now this is your swap page, which is, I think it looks a whole hell of a lot better than the old one. This is the old swap page. This is the new swap page. So they're starting to flesh some of this stuff out really nice, and I love it. Their order book the chart is front and center on this, because you want to know what this thing is doing. This is what you're trading for or trading against, and you really want to see this one. So they're doing some good things, but they also added this. Now, Sumo actually mentioned this, and I had mentioned this. See, Coinbase, if you guys are familiar with Coinbase, has anybody ever been to Coinbase? Yes, you've been to Coinbase. Here's their basic site. This is what Coinbase is, and this is what people see. This is the most elementary, do-nothing, static web page I think I've ever seen in my life. But they're one of the most successful central exchanges that exists. There's two. There's Coinbase and there's Binance. Everybody else is just sucking their tailpipe. But the thing I love about that, believe it or not, is that little blue button right there. I've been on this rush about the blue button. Give me the goddamn blue button. I don't have it on Kujira. It's not here. I don't have it here. It's not on these myriad. And I think you guys got the horizontal scaling. I think you knocked that out. All right, because you have gone horizontal with each and every one of those. Time to vertically scale. All right, start pulling it all under one umbrella, make it nice and easy, like they did over here on Orai. Now, here's the issue with Orai. A proposal over here was either proposed or it's on its way to passing, that they have to cut emissions, and they absolutely do have to cut emissions. Again, let me just show you. It's easier to show you. They are absolutely going to have to cut emissions because right here, they're running out of tokens. They are simply running out of tokens that they can print out as emissions. They tried to save it with Orai X, and Orai X kind of is going the way of Beacree. So it's kind of doing the same thing. And if you look at it over 3 months or a year, it's kind of doing the same thing as everything else. So the only way that you're going to be able to support the Orai DEX token is if people are going out and buying Orai. Nobody's buying Orai X. There's no point in them buying the Orai X, and particularly because the payouts for every one of these pools is in Orai X. So nobody's going to invest in a token that is basically being printed for emissions. Nobody's going to do that. So the only thing that could possibly be shoring up this token is going to be the Shade team buying Orai X to shore up that token, because everybody's going to dump it. Every time they come over here and claim all of this, it's going to get dumped. It's going to be turned into something else. Nobody's really going to hold this pool or token. The only pool that they have up here, which is ridiculous, and it clearly illustrates what I'm saying though, is Orai X and USDC, smart pairing at 60%. How the fuck can you maintain that? And the total fees on that pool, this is the total volume and the pool fees. Over 24 hours, $1,000 have been traded on it. And most of that is going to be people liquidating that token. The fees are just meaningless over here. But there's $650,000 worth of liquidity. That's team liquidity there, guys. Anyway, let me get back to it. So it was the proposal passed, or the proposal is about to pass, that they're going to have to cut emissions. Now, the only thing that supports this DEX are those emissions, because I have looked far and wide on Orai for AI. And aside from a kind of wonky price oracle, there is no AI on this DEX or on this chain. I haven't seen it. I haven't found it. It's nothing that I could see suddenly generating wild interest. The token went up because it says AI and because there's an AI narrative. FET went up, AGIX went up, all the AI tokens went up, and Orai went with it because people say, yeah, it's an AI token. It's not. All right, it's barely. It's AI in name only, because you can see that right there. So they've managed to maintain these stupidly high APRs for years and years. They've managed to maintain these APRs. But like any other inflationary token, inflationary DEX, the music's going to stop, and the music's getting ready to stop. Now, I'm in this on several different wallets. I am actually overexposed to Orai on a lot of different wallets, guys. I was buying this stuff at $1.80. So yeah, I'm just loved it. It was great. It's been fine. I've been harvesting. I've been building other positions on this DEX, but I've been doing it by farming this DEX. Period. I have been taking the money. I've been turning it into Atom or anything else, getting it off and running with it. I do not turn the APRs over here into APYs. You've got to insulate. You've got to realize some profit on here. So my single biggest pool on all of my different wallets is this one right here, is Orai USDT, for the same reason. As it goes up in value, as Orai goes up in value, it slowly gets burned off and becomes USDT. When it really starts to get hammered and lose value, that doesn't affect me because I've already sold. All right. I have no particular love loss in this thing, man. I will sell. I will secure my position. I will wait till everything slows down and people get mellow, and then I'm just going to buy back in. But I'm going to buy back in with a hell of a lot more of it because I buy it cheaper. I've realized my profits and I bought it cheaper. There's a reason that I'm in that pool. All right, the largest liquidity pool on here at almost $4 million. The slippage is very, very minimal. And I'm talking, I will move 100 or 150,000, not at once. I'll do it maybe 20 grand at a time. But guys, I'm in and out of this thing all the time. I am the ghost over here. And I will do it because it generates me a whole hell of a lot of revenue that I can take and put to work everything else, every other place. Where I say DEX arbitrage, this is DEX arbitraging. I will do it right here. Now, I am actually interested in this one just because I have to diversify. So all of it's going to be going right here. All of my other APRs that I'm getting on these other DEXs for the foreseeable future are going to be going right here because I'm kind of curious if KUJI is actually going to see it through, if they are actually going to build and make the changes that are, in my opinion, necessary. I'm excited to see if they're going to do it. If they will, I will be there for the ride. If they won't, I will clear the position. There's enough in there that I can do it without getting hammered too hard. But I would like to move about 100 grand into this, but I have to get it from other people's money. I don't have enough faith in Kujira that I'm going to invest my own capital, but I'm happy to invest other people's capital because it costs me nothing. So we'll be moving into this just because I want to diversify. I would much rather sit here and just gulp up AXV. I would much rather just gulp this stuff up at, where's it at right now? I would much rather just hold on to this and gulp it up at 11.5 cents. I'd be thrilled to do that because this thing is, I think it's going to be a monster. But you can't make your position too large in a small cap token. You just can't, because once you do, you're stuck. There's nothing you can do. You can never clear the position unless you want to do $50 a day. And have you ever tried to clear $250,000 at $50 a day? All right, no, no. Let me stop you there. So until they actually start building up that market cap, I can't move a whole hell of a lot more in there. But I still do want to realize profits and get rewards, so I'm going to be doing it over here on Kujira because I think they might actually see this through. I don't care about the APR. The APR is irrelevant to me. What's relevant to me is the Kujira token getting some nice organic value, so it will become USDC. I can pull everything out and take that USDC, and let's pretend that Astrovault suddenly spikes, their liquidity increases, meaning that they can take the moves that I'm going to make over there. Then I have plenty of cash stored somewhere else that I can move back over there to make my quick moves. All right, I have got to keep cash because this is what I do. So yeah, look, there's lots of stuff going on over here. There's lots of different dexes. There's lots of ways to do this. I'm going to move in all of these. All right, all of them. I'm going to have money spread all over. Rule number one of investing is diversify. Rule number two is see. Rule number one, I see no advantage of being a maxi in anything. Anything. It's just not me, man. I'm going to spread this stuff all over. The only one that I can't find a legitimate use for anymore, sadly, is this. It's just not. And Kujira's big two pools over there are Atom and USDC. It should be Bitcoin. It should be Bitcoin. It should be Ethereum. Now, Astrovault's done a pretty good job. They did get some money over there because they clearly understand that you got to have the big dog on there somewhere. All right, you've got to have a large Bitcoin pool because that's what people know. And if you're onboarding Web 2 people to Web 3 DeFi, what tokens do they know? They know Bitcoin and they know Ethereum. They're not going to learn a new token to buy it. They're going to stick with what they know. So you better provide them products that they know. I hate the fact that on featured pools, let me get back to that on featured pools, your largest single thing up there. Did that just go away? There you go. It is Bitcoin paired with, which is a perfect pairing for this, by the way. That's what it should be. All right, because you just want people that want to be able to buy Bitcoin to provide an avenue for it. It should be USDC Bitcoin. It should be that, but wrap Bitcoin and wrap Bitcoin, I have no problem with. I assume that's Axelar and Gravity Bridge. I don't know that bridge. I'm going to assume it is. But it's untradeable. It is simply untradeable over here. Maybe I'm missing it, man. Let me take a look. Where are all the Bitcoin pools? Maybe they do have a great big one over here. Let's see. 40, 50,000, 160, 15. Wrap Bitcoin and Manta. That's a good pool. That's a strong pull. You're never going to get an APR out of that. People are not swapping because the trade itself makes no sense. All right, nobody's going to buy a bunch of Manta to come over and buy wrap Bitcoin Axelar. It's just not going to happen. So the pool itself makes no sense. But that is that's a strong pool. It's a strong store of value. I guess the problem it would be making the trade. That would kind of be the issue. Astrovault got that fixed up pretty good with their pathing. And Shade does it, by the way, as well. They will move from pool to pool to pool to make this. I don't think Kujira has that, or at least I haven't tried. Let's find out. Let's say we wanted to trade. And obviously we know this is borked. Those numbers aren't right. So all right, let's just take, I don't care, friends, and see if we can find some Bitcoin on here. Hang on. Any version of it. Maybe I need to do Atom. Atom for any version of Bitcoin over here. No, because there's no pool created. So what Astrovault did that was actually really, really good, and most of these other ones do this too. But let's say I wanted to trade anything. Let's say there is no Jackal Bitcoin pool, but let's say I wanted to trade 1,000 Jackal and I wanted to get Bitcoin out of it. There you go. There's a path for it. Now I'm going to put $387 in, and I'm going to get $376 out. That's actually a decently reasonable trade, considering that there's no pool to this. There is no Jackal Bitcoin pool. But if I tried to do the same thing over here, it simply doesn't exist. I can't make that trade because one doesn't exist. So you have to have a direct pool. There is no aggregator over here. There is nothing that will path this. Shade does it, and Astrovault does it, and OSMO does it. So I don't really understand why Kujira doesn't, or unless I simply do not understand the decks. If I don't, please put it out. You guys, do I have no comments over here? This is kind of getting silly. All right, interchain security, laugh my ass off. Yes, you're right. Hey sir, haven't caught you live in a while. What is your opinion on Vara? It's my biggest bag. Sir, I don't know Vara. I'll take a look. I don't want to leave anybody hanging out there. Thank goodness for Astrovault right now and Orai. Orai is pay attention. All right, pay attention to Orai. As soon as that number goes down, guys, all right, as soon as all of these APRs go, people are going to exit this position and they're going to exit the Orai, and there's going to be a fuck ton of sell pressure on this token. So just be advised, because unless the team is really sitting there ready to support all the sell-off that's going to happen here, unless they're ready and there and able to support this sell-off, then the token is going to bleed. People will stay in it for the high APR, but when that high APR goes back or goes away, then you have to support it with new customers, and you're not getting them, or you're going to have to support it with serious APR offsets for people who are taking the risk. And you're basically going to cut their nuts off right there. So please, please, please pay attention to that. Let me see. You otherwise had a profit for the swap. I didn't see that question, brother. I'm sorry. That WASM error is really messed up. It is. It is. Let me see. Where else have we got? This is why Bell does this. I don't do this, man. This is awful. Flash. I don't really see how we don't at least do a 20 to 25x during the rally if we get deployed on other chains and more people get to know the project. I don't know which token you're talking about. I didn't see the top of the conversation. If it's AXV, I'm not saying, because I don't do price prediction. I'm not that kind of guy. I see upside. I see upside. And if they get launched on Neutron and maybe reach out to somebody like Base or something like that, yeah, there could be something there. I don't know. It's like $1.5 million market cap. Yeah, it is AXV. Yeah. So yeah, it's a tiny one, man. Needs some volume. You can see the buyback and burn mechanism has already recovered the price nicely from the airdrop in a matter of days, and the rally hasn't really kicked off like it will. It could. Again, price prediction stuff, man. I don't know. Also need more interest. AXV will definitely be a patient investment. Marketing, guys. That's it. It comes down to marketing, the same as everybody else. Even if you have the right product, you have the right message, you have the right everything, you have got to make sure that people know about it. And I'm sorry, man. Look, you could sell this stuff through you can sell it through pure hype, pure hopium, or pure conflict. You have to pick a direction and then just run with it, man. Make people hate you, and even if they disagree with everything that you're going to say, they're going to hear it. And eventually the rational part of their mind is going to come in. And there you go. So that's one way to do it. Also need more. I'm sorry, Scott, KUJI break. Let's see, Demix. I'll take a look at it, man. But do you really want me to? I guess that's the question. I'm hypercritical on everything, brother. And a new type, I will ask you, man. Send me an email, comment, something in the Discord. Do you really want me to go at that, man? Because even the decks that I completely support, I bash them. I will absolutely have a go at them when I see something wrong, because we're talking about my money. So do you really want me to take a look over there and really get into Demex? Is that what you want? If you want it, I'll do it. But you can't come back after the fact and say, Scott sucks, he's got it all wrong, and just leave. I had all the Hex people. We had Hex people over here on the channel. As soon as I really dug into it and I said, you are fucked. Every single way it's possible to be fucked, you are. All of a sudden, Scott's an idiot. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. And then, they all run and fuck me. How's Hex doing, by the way? I'm just asking. So if you really want it, I'm going to do it. But it's going to be objective, man. All right. If I see something screwed up, I'm going to point out, I think this is screwed up. There you go. So Vera is a brand new layer 1. Take a look at it. I'm listening. Sure. What do they do? It's another layer 1. Are they just waiting for people to build on them? Because we got plenty of that. But I'll take a look, man. I don't know. Scott's honest thoughts on lunar space. Doesn't seem like any token value accrual for a long time, and kind of a science fair project. If. I'm just going to caveat all of that with an if. Now, I will be buying. It'll go on Outbid, man. And anything You know what? It's a sentiment buy right now at this because, yes, I do have a little bit of insight that we haven't put out because it's not my story. But I'm just going to say that I'm going to be making some buys on it. I have enough. I see enough upside plus market sentiment plus market trends and conditions and all that other stuff. Guys, I'm buying Kujira right now. All right, so just take that for what it's worth. Yeah, I think there's we got to plummet a little bit more. And me and Patrick are gonna have a go. I mean, a hard go, dude. I'm not dressing up. We're got those dukes up, man. We're gonna have it. So a little bit more to plumb on that one. But as it sits right now, yeah, I'll be moving in. I will be moving in when it goes live on Outbid. And I think Scott is reading top chat and not the full live chat. I don't do chat. All right. I have somebody for that. I got the bell. Belle takes care of all that stuff. I don't take care of that. She takes care of it for me. All right, so it looks like we're out of questions. I'm about talk dry, guys. I mean, this is what we got left. So, hey, you know what? To the podcast audience, the Kujira people, anybody you might be watching, Twitter folks, to you. There you go. And that is brought to you by Smoke Wagon Bourbon. That is excellent. Oh, my God. Hang on, I dropped something here. Ah. I got to get the tears out of my eyes. That's good bourbon, man. I love it when it really hits me like that. Uh, the last one I really, really finished off. I bought a Kujira 25. Is a 25-year Kujira whiskey. Kind of as a. I wanted to say. I just wanted to say it was $1,000, $1,000 for a bottle of booze. Uh, that was some of the best I think I've ever had. And if you're paying $1,000 for a bottle, it's this size. I mean, there's no difference. But if you're paying $1,000 for a bottle of it, man, you really want to enjoy it. But we went live so much that week, man, that whole bottle was just cashed in like 4 days. And but you know what? It's such a pleasant buzz. It's worth it, man. It's worth the stretch. There's no good booze does not give you a hangover. If you are an executive alcoholic like me, you can handle it. And yeah, it was absolutely wonderful. Okay, if I am the best. If I'm in the real estate valuation field, what would be the best crypto I should look to? Uh, Wow, I got no idea, brother. That is that is that is so far out of my realm. I wouldn't even know where to start. If you are brand new to crypto, take a look at DPIN projects. If you're brand new to crypto, these are projects that you will certainly understand because you know infrastructure is a necessity. And that's kind of where I'd be starting. And I would stay away from damn near everything else, man, until you really get your wheels under you. This is a vicious, vicious PvP cutthroat field. So stick with products that are products. Stick with products that are businesses. Those are probably going to do you the best. And on Solana, lets you trade real estate perpetuals. Do they do that? I think that's actually kind of cool. Yeah, go Solana, man. Big fan. I'm not a big fan. If I could make some money on it, I would. I did. I traded the native token. I tend not to touch native tokens like that because I'm not interested in the ecosystem. I'm interested in the product on the ecosystem, and those are what I tend to invest on. And but yeah, Solana, man, that one was such a no-brainer to make some bucks, and yeah, I made some bucks, so yay for us. Anyway, let me take a look at this real quick, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cut out, guys, because I had a wonderful time. I hope you did too. Oh God, that's where that came from. Oh, Kujira USK. Wait for this thing to refresh. There's no way I blasted that by 1%. That is, I really wish I'd have seen that before I moved even a nickel in there. So the farming incentives is sperm. That's what you get, man. Another one of these dumbass Kujira tokens that they seem to embrace so much. Yeah, so now we're gonna be stuck with that one. Let me see. I don't know how quick the epochs go up here for me to be able to claim any kind of staking rewards. Sure, I'm glad I'm going to get more sperm. Boy, that's great. Guys, fix this. For God's sakes, don't give me sperm. All right. We're going to call it good tonight, guys. I had a wonderful time. It's fun to be able to go long. It's fun to be able to run far afield and Bell not dragging me back. Bad Bell. Bad Bell. So I appreciate you guys joining me, man. I got a very, very pleasant buzz. I finished my booze. I'm going to chill out and watch the fourth Matrix movie tonight. I've already seen it, but I watched the first three out of sheer boredom, so you kind of got to finish the run. So, hey, Neo, I believe. I do believe. Questions or comments, Scott at thepodcast.com. I answer any and all. And until next time, which should be Monday morning, please stay safe. Please be smart with your money, guys. Cheers. We are dropping new videos and podcasts every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And be sure to look for us on Instagram, Twitter, and Parler at ThePodocasts. Also, visit our page at ThePodocasts.com